Hello and welcome back, everyone. Titus here with a full power Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatika DPE deck. Well, almost full power because Nadir is at 1 in the OCG and at 2 in the TCG and probably could go to 3 and be quite fine now because it's really not relevant anymore at all. But that's okay. We make up for it with a little nice card called Super Poly. So what happens is you move away from the Shaddoll engine of the deck and you embrace hand traps. And it's really nice because all you need is a bunch of hand traps and one Alistair, and you have full combo. Add DPE on top of that, and the deck is really, really hard to beat. So we are playing 40. Let's go over it. We'll go over the hand trap lineup first, and then I'll explain a little bit of why each one is good, and then I'll explain the engine pieces as well. So we are playing one DD Crow. It outs DPE, it outs Scythe. You gotta play it. I would like to play it at 2. I might actually play it at 2 and play 41, or cut Ecclesias down to 3 and play 2 DD Crow. It's a really good card. We're playing 3 Effect Veiler. Stop Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. You have to stop Verte. Stop Verte, stop the DPE. It's needed. It's the same reason why we're playing Imperm. We're stopping Verte. If they open 2 cards, like if say they set up Baron de Flor as well, we have to negate 1, and say we open Imperm, we have to negate both the Baron and the floor so that we can play through the Verte Anaconda. So we need hand traps. Playing Maxi, of course, draw more cards, always good. I like to draw, it's always amazing. We want to see Alistair. We are playing 3 Ash Blossom. Stops Fusion Destiny hard. Also stops some generic stuff. Really, you can maybe cut this down to 2 and kind of be okay. The meta is going to shift a little bit. People are going to sack you with Fusion Destiny, so it's good to have 3. But if you need space, you could cut it down to 2 and probably be okay. It's just a good card, just in general. And we're playing a little bit of like a Reassurance with some Called by the Grave. Really good card. It stops the fusion, it stops the DPE, it stops the Scythe, something to just get things and facilitate plays so to make sure that we can fuse. Also, if we just set it behind a Mechaba, pretty good. We're also playing Super Polymerization. Can't respond. I can fuse. Pretty good. We're playing a couple fusion techs in the extra deck that I'll go over here in a minute. So let's talk about the engine. Of course, we are playing 3 Alistair, 2 Invocation, and of course only 2 Meltdown, technically 3 because of Terraforming, because it is limited to 2. So that is the engine we need. You could say 3 Invocation, but you want to try and keep the deck at 40. You want to try and keep it consistent as possible. So this is about all of the Alistair engine that we need. But to follow that up, because Nadir is only at 1, we are playing the 1 Nadir Servant, but we need Ecclesia. We need Ecclesia, number 1, to go into Verte Anaconda to make a DPE of our own, but number 2, also to make sure we facilitate plays with Maximus, because we can still use Shaddoll Schism to make Winda. That's what this deck does. It does it with a lot less cards now, so it's a lot easier to facilitate your plays, set up everything, go into Maximus, and make a Winda. So if you have Mechaba Winda DPE Winda, whatever you set up, you are going to have a really good board if you can play through all that, if they can play through all your hand traps, or you have hand traps in your back row while you have a semi-good board. That's why this deck is so consistent. Plays a bunch of hand traps plus engine. So our Dogmatika engine is 3 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur de Lis, 1 Maximus, 1 Nadir Servant. For some extra draw power... Oh, I'm sorry. We also have Dogmatika Punishment, and to facilitate the Shaddoll stuff, we have Schism, of course. Extra draw power is Pot of Prosperity. And then the bricks. Dasher. Celestial. You play these 2. If you have no cards in your hand, Celestial says draw 2. By banishing Dasher and Celestial, you draw 2 cards. Really good. Dasher says I can reveal, when a card is drawn, I can reveal it if it's a monster and summon it to the field. Pretty good. So really, really good card. But it's a brick in your hand. It's better in the graveyard. And of course the 2 Fusion Destiny to facilitate the Destroy, Phoenix, Enforcer. So let's go over the extra deck now. We are going into Elder Intis. Of course, we have this card to send off a punishment to clear pesky things, or we can send off Maximus as well. If we already have some setup for the Shaddoll Schism combo. Of course, Winda App Cologne and Construct makes the Winda combo with Shaddoll Schism. Basically what happens is you activate Maximus effect, or to summon Maximus is usually you send, off into your servant, you will send App Cologne, add Schism, discard Schism, and then activate Maximus effect, send Construct, send Titaniclad, and then you make Schism. But that can change a little bit, because now we are playing Almirage and Gardna. You can actually banish the Almirage to summon the Maximus, and then you can send App Cologne and Titaniclad and add the Schism that way if absolutely necessary. So we have more ways to get into the Winda combo than we did before, because we're going to have more stuff in our graveyard to banish. So we are playing a Purgatrio, a Agoides, and 2 Mechaba for our Alistair invoked cards. We're playing some super poly targets, one being Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and one being Predaplant Dragos Tapelia. A lot of the meta is going to be Scythe Lock, like Pile Synchro combo, Sword Soul with Protos, and Phantom Knight Scythe Lock as well. And these cards kind of get around the Phantom Knight Scythe Lock, and so they're kind of here. This could actually probably be an Omega, because it helps regenerate engine, and I might change to that in the future. Of course, we have the Titaniclad to go with the Dogmatika stuff because it's very useful, and then the links, Verte Anaconda makes DPE, Almirage after summoning Alistair, and then going into Secure Gardna, so we have a light target to make our Mechaba, and still have an Almirage for Maximus in the graveyard. And that is going to be our full power Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatika DPE deck. Please, if you like this video, give a like down below. It's going to be a little short one, but we're doing a bunch of these. So make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, everybody. And happy dueling.